Hey, I am going to do another tactics video, and again, this is a video that I'm recording before I go off to a tournament where I'm using cavalry. And there were some guys asking about my cavalry tactics, and this is going to try and illustrate one of those tactics for you guys. And this is the HoRo shuffle. So named because it sounds like a dance and it looks like a dance, what I'm actually doing. Right. So I have set up a little scenery for you here on my game table. The same one I used last time I made a video like this. So let me just show you what I'm doing. Right. Okay. This is the scene. We have an armored car here. In this case, it's a Daimler Dingo. Um, this works especially well if you have an armored vehicle that's open-topped and has a front-facing weapon. This Daimler Dingo has, so that's why I picked it out. HoRo is what it's named after, and that's because I played against a lot of HoRos during a period of time, and I would use this tactic, and I've seen this deployed by it's my friend Michael Fee who came up with the tactic, and I've seen him use it many times. He is the author of this tactic. So what happens is you have your lieutenant. He is mounted. Now, the the vehicle that you're going to face is open topped. That's the important bit. So otherwise, you're just going to hurt it, which there is an element of hurting in this one, right? Um, so your enemy has already done something. Perhaps it shot, whatever. It doesn't really matter. You are within 18 inches with your lieutenant. That's the important bit. You move up and you place your lieutenant 1 inch in front of that vehicle. Now, because it only has a front-facing gun, he has very limited options. Go and watch my video on hurting tanks. That means that this vehicle is now very much locked. It can't turn. It can go back, but that means it can't turn. And it's basically locked down for the game. If he shoots at you, if he puts down a fire order, you will immediately do like this. Now you can't be shot, right? Because he's front facing, so he can't shoot you anymore. That's your escape move. If he moves first, so he gives it an advance order, he can't turn and advance because that will bring his corner inside of 1 inch. He can't do that. He can advance backwards and then shoot, and that will immediately mean I move up and I'm out of line of sight again. Or if I possibly he's on a road and can move really far back, I can get into hard cover. So he's moved. I'm small team, hard cover. It's going to be 7. Right. So advancing and shooting, not an option. He is not a tank because he's open-topped, including HoRos, by the way, and including stuff that is actually very, very tank-like. I have a Wolverine tank destroyer here that I'm painting up. This is not a tank because it's open-topped. Doesn't count as a tank. So he can't do tank assaults. He can't assault me away. So this is now locked down for good. That is the HoRo shuffle. It's even better if you can start, so he's done something, and you're within 9 inches. What you do is you move up 1 inch in front of him, and you fire both your pistols. If you hit him, now he is pinned and can't do a thing. That is amazing. That vehicle is now never going to do a thing again unless something else comes and removes that lieutenant. It is simply impossible for this front-facing armored vehicle to get rid of that lieutenant now. No matter what, each turn, if I get the first order dice, if I have to move the lieutenant first, I'll typically put him on ambush, because from ambush he can do the escape moves. If this vehicle fails its auto test and moves back a bit, I will just advance and shoot again. And I'll continue to do that every single time. So it's like a little dance where I move up, I move down. And the only thing that can happen, right, is he gets the first order dice, he declares a shoot, I move, and then that's it. Next turn he gets the first order dice again, then he can move out. But I have so much range with these cavalrymen, 18 inches, he's not going to get away. I'm going to get back there, and I'm going to block him again. So that is the dance. That is the dance where you dance back and forth in front of him. Um, and because HoRos are really bad at this dance, and they are, um, at least they used to be everywhere in competitive Japanese, then that is an amazing way to get rid of it. Because a lieutenant like that, I mean, an inexperienced lieutenant, he costs 35 points, and then 5 points for a horse, so that's 40 points, and you're taking out for the whole game a HoRo with a howitzer that could actually do quite a lot of damage. And what's a HoRo, like 150 points? I can't remember, but it's an amazing trade-off in points that you're doing here. And simply because the rules say you cannot move inside 1 inch of an enemy unit without charging them, and an open top vehicle cannot charge. This, by the way, also works if you want to do it. It also kind of works against like armored cars that are open topped, but armored cars typically has a lot more like machine guns and stuff. This is a Greyhound, and I mean it has a pintle mounted HMG as well. So it can split fire. So it's going to get a little bit trickier against these, but it absolutely still works. And these, of course, can still be pinned by your lieutenant that still has an escape move. So if it's moved up, move your lieutenant up, place him right in front of it, give him that pin, and then if he shoots you, well, brilliant. Okay, you're going to try to make the lieutenant survive by wrecking behind hard cover, escape moving behind hard cover. So he might still shoot you, he might still kill you, but then he's at least wasted a whole turn with his armored car. It's a brilliant tactic. It's I name it the HoRo shuffle because of the dance moves that's going on. So try it out. I am going to do that this weekend, hopefully. We shall see how many HoRos actually turn up. Right, that's it for me. I'll see you next time. Cheers.